Hi and good morning to everybody. Welcome back to my desk. This is another episode of Hot and Sweaty in the City. So, the last few episodes we've been talking about different things like nutrition and how to dress and stuff like that, and that's all been really wonderful. So, today I actually wanted to talk about menopause and not only how it affects us, but how it affects our relationships as well as other members of our families. So I live with my partner. It's just him and I, and he's a little bit older than myself. Works a full time job like most guys. Blue collar guy. A lot of fun. Definitely love him a lot. Um, so him and I, at the beginning of my menopause, of course, we were into our relationship a couple years already, and so we kind of knew each other really well, but neither one of us was really prepared, especially myself. We're going through it for the first time too, right? So it became somewhat of a backdoor issue, should we say. The thing that happened was, so I'm about 2 or 3 months into my menopause, and or at least the lack of my period stage. And like most women, I'm researching everything online, and I'm looking for nutrition, and I'm looking for supplements, and I'm looking for things that are going to help me through this because I know I'm going through it. But what I didn't realize was that during that time, I was sort of putting him on the back burner. Lack of communication. There wasn't a lot going on in our house in between the two of us. It was kind of stressful, and neither one of us sort of realized it right away. Like it just sort of, day to day life gets in the way. He's at work, I'm doing my thing, and we're both sort of meeting in the middle in the evening. And like most people, you get comfortable, so you just sort of flop on the couch, watch a bit of TV, and go to bed. That's pretty much our day. But it was coming to a point where I was noticing that, on weekends or time where we did have time for each other, where work wasn't involved or other activities weren't involved, we still weren't really connecting. We were still more or less doing our own thing at home, kind of together, but kind of not. And I also noticed that I was getting some sort of picky comments. Women, do you know what I mean? Like those passive aggressive, well, haha, you never pay attention to me anymore, or, oh, you're all the way on the other side of the world from me. Meanwhile, you're on the other side of the room. Just to give you an idea, our living room is set up so that my desk, which I welcome you to, is in my living room, which also happens to be next to our television and our couch and everything else. So when he's watching TV on the couch, I could be over here doing whatever it is, researching online or, typing on my laptop. So yeah, those sorts of things have been sort of pulling us apart rather than bringing us together. So once I noticed that those sort of comments were coming into play and we were sort of picking at each other a little bit and things were getting a little bit tense around our household, I had to take a step back and go, okay, what's going on? I'm dealing with hot flashes, night sweats, the change of my life, and now he's picking at me saying, like, you never spend time with me, you never to pay attention to me, you never blah blah blah, right? Ladies, I'm sure we understand, we get that. I mean, I'm sure we've gotten that within our relationships. So my thing was in the beginning, and I didn't really realize I was doing this, was because I was researching about menopause and about how to go through it naturally and how to take that journey healthily. I was sort of shutting him out. I wasn't really involving him in my everyday struggles, trials, tribulations, things that I'm experiencing, things that are driving me crazy, things that I hadn't experienced before, and now I'm experiencing them all of a sudden. You know, those sorts of communications are insanely important. Insanely important. Um, so before he knew, um, like he knew I was going through menopause because it was kind of, yeah, hey, I'm going through menopause, but he really wasn't aware of what all that entailed. I mean, being that he is older than myself, he's from the previous generation where they didn't tell men about menopause. I mean, men knew when women were going through it, but they didn't know anything about it. I mean, and unfortunately, and not to date myself here, but my partner was kind of having an Archie Bunker moment, and if we've all watched All in the Family, we know exactly what I'm talking about. So, to sort of get rid of those moments, because, ladies, we don't want Archie Bunker in our house, um, him and I, we sat down, we talked, and I just said, like, look, what's going on with you? Like, why are you all of a sudden coming at me, saying that we're not really together? We sit together, but we're not together, or you have complaints about me not paying attention to you, or feeling like we're in the same room, but I'm off 1,000 miles away. I had to explain to him that yes, I'm going through menopause, but that in itself comes with so much. It comes with confusion on what to wear most days for us women. It comes with lack of sleep sometimes. I mean, in the beginning, before I started red clover supplement with my menopause, I was experiencing hot flashes at night and night sweats. And we're talking like, oh boy, night sweats. Like, poof, there's a pool in the middle of my bed. Night sweats. Like, I didn't realize a human body could produce that much liquid without completely being a raisin the next morning. So, there's those experiences that us as women have for the first few times early on in menopause and premenopause and that sort of thing. And it's enough for us to go running to the hills, like looking for any salvation we can find. But for the men in our lives and the people in our lives that are watching us go through this, it's just as confusing. They don't understand why, um, like I've said in a previous video, I went to Walmart to pick my partner up some chips for his game, and poof, my brain farted on me while I was in the chip aisle, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I could give a rat's beep less what you want for chips. I don't even care at this point. I'm just gonna grab the first two bags that look like something you're gonna want to eat and go home. And that's exactly what I did. So then I got that look when I got home, like, what's wrong with you? And again, it's the lack of information from me to him, the lack of communication from me to him. So we've of course sat down and definitely talked about menopause and everything it's coming with and everything it could potentially come with. So that way he's a little more aware. And when he comes home at the end of the day, I make it a practice because we have like, how are you feeling today? And it's not really like, how are you feeling? Like, did you have a good day? Did you have bad? Mind you, you could add that too. But it's, how are you today? Like, are you okay? Is there anything that you've noticed today new, maybe, that you didn't the other day that might affect us and we can talk about? And ladies, I have to say that being a woman that is just with her partner, like, we don't have any children around with us. I mean, our children are all growing. Um, it's like going through menopause alone. And to have that partner there that wants to understand, that wants to learn about what we're going through is huge. Like, it's like having a secondary ally. And it's like having someone that, if he comes home and I'm having a bad day, I can say to him, like, honey, today was just like, wow, not a great day for me. I'm feeling this. And I don't know why. It could be because, and we'll sit down, we'll talk about it. And, it could be a trigger. Like, something could have happened in between me and somebody, and it could have, sent me on an emotional trigger that way. Or it could be something that I had been thinking about that might have been upsetting me, that sort of thing. Um, without really realizing. And that's the other thing. Sometimes we're upset about things that we don't necessarily realize until it's brought up. Like, what are you upset about? And not necessarily just like that, but you know what I mean, right? And it gives us the opportunity to sit back and go, oh, okay, this is why. Oh yeah, okay, this is why I'm feeling what I'm feeling, or this is what's happened to me. This is why, I'm not at my greatest today, right? I'm not feeling 1,000%, here or however it is. And also to be okay with telling our partners and the people in our lives that yes, throughout most of their lives, we have been that steady rock, that person that they go to for everyday items like their grocery needs, or like we are the keepers of our homes, right? Like everybody within that home gets cared for by us women. And when we go through menopause, of course, sometimes it makes it harder for us to do that. And a lot of times I think women experience a shame in telling their partners or their family members, look, my brain's going through brain fog right now, or I'm not sleeping every night, or I feel like not myself right now. I'm going to need your help to facilitate until I am feeling myself again. And that may mean diet change, which it probably does, ladies. Diets are huge in our world right now. And so I just want to let everybody know that, yeah, if this is what you're going through and you haven't talked with your partner yet, definitely do that. And also, I'm going to do another episode that's kind of an update to this episode as we go along, but it's going to be about bonding and bonding with our partners. Because conversation is one thing and it's great and it helps and it gives men the understanding how to help us, and it gives our families the understanding on how to help us. So that is like 1,000 times like a weight lifted. And believe me, women, when I tell you, when you have a partner like I do who's beside you and is willing to help you and is willing to accept the fact that you're going to have good days and bad days because of this menopause, or you're going to sleep or you're not going to sleep or whatever it is, that they're there to back you and they understand, and it doesn't become like this tit for tat thing in your household. It's huge. It is. It's absolutely huge. So absolutely have that conversation or start that conversation, or maybe even just start small with, what do you know about menopause? What don't you know about menopause? What did you think you knew about menopause that maybe you don't? And maybe that'll give you two the opportunity to do a little bit of research together, and that could be the start of your bonding experience. So until next time, when I talk about bonding and how to keep that relationship growing tight even through menopause, um, until next time, my girlies and everybody out there, thank you so much for dropping by and watching, and please check like if you like this video, and I'll be back again. Bye.